Hey, what's up? Today we're gonna compare the brand new MSI Claw 8 AI Plus with the Core Ultra 7 258V and its Intel Arc graphics 140V with the original ASUS ROG Ally Z1 Extreme with its Radeon 780M in a few games at 30W and also at 15W, while for the MSI Claw that would be 17W since the Core Ultra 7 has the RAM soldered on the CPU, which uses additional 2 to 3W. In other words, 17W for the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus complies to 15W on the ROG Ally. So make sure to check out the results for both power profiles, and I will put timestamps in the description for better navigation. Keep in mind that the Claw 8 AI Plus has just been released and the Ally is now already 20-month old and did get a lot of BIOS and driver updates already. I used the newest available drivers and BIOS versions for both systems, but I didn't make use of AFMF for the Ally, as that makes measuring the FPS in a meaningful way literally impossible. For better comparability, I recorded both devices via an external capture card at 1080p, while the Claw 8's display is actually a slightly taller 1200p screen. The Claw has 32GB of RAM and automatically sets the VRAM size, and for the Ally I used a pre-allocated VRAM size of 8GB. I've not been the biggest fan of the original MSI Claw, and so I was even more excited to see if the second iteration would do significantly better. And spoiler up front, in a lot of cases it actually does. But see for yourself, since there are some surprises. So without further ado, let's start with the benchmarks using the 30W profiles. PS, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for a few more videos about this new gaming handheld in the near future.
This is Hubwood.
In today's first game, the also brand new Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus was slightly ahead at 30W with 50 over 45 FPS on average, using the medium preset with FSR on performance, which I still find acceptable on such a small screen. The game is pretty well optimized and the 1% lows have been mostly okay for both handhelds. And I was actually really surprised that the Ally did so well with its smaller 16GB RAM size, but again, the game is just exceptionally well optimized for a modern AAA title. For the new Monster Hunter Wilds, I was using the free benchmark tool to compare both systems. And here at 30W, the ROG Ally is actually performing better compared to the MSI Claw, which was also struggling with the 1% lows caused by stuttering whenever the camera or a scene changed. 56 FPS on average for the Ally and 48 for the MSI Claw. Probably an Intel driver issue, and we'll have to see if either MSI or Intel will be able to fix that with future updates. For the settings, I was using the low preset, which automatically uses FSR on ultra performance, and the game does look blurry that way, but otherwise performs significantly worse. Also, the FPS really depend on the scene, and in some cases the Claw was even slightly ahead or at least equal to the Ally Z1 Extreme. I basically saw a tie for Wukong Black Myth at 30W using the medium preset with FSR on quality and activated frame generation. 75 FPS for the Ally and 74 FPS for the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. Now, considering the Ally is already 20-month old, such results don't flatter the MSI Claw, and we haven't exactly been spoiled with a lot of driver optimizations in the past, but as we say in Germany, hope dies last. Though on both devices the benchmark ran super stable with great 1% lows of around 64 FPS. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is super intense to run, and even with the lowest possible settings, using the 30W profile at 1080p with 50% resolution scaling, I only saw 31 FPS for the Ally and 37 FPS for the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus, which is a lead of 19% here. At least in this first jungle scene right at the beginning of the game. Very unfortunate that this game doesn't yet support FSR or XeSS for sure. But as the game is still pretty new, we might expect some improvement from all sides here in the future. For Cyberpunk 2077, I was using medium settings with FSR 3 on balanced, combined with frame generation at 1080p. That resulted in 74 FPS on average for the Ally and 86 FPS for the Claw 8. Though the Core Ultra 7 did seem to have more issues providing a stable frame rate here, as you can see in the frame time graph, leading to worse 1% lows in comparison. Though, I mean, definitely playable on both devices, and maybe some tinkering around with the settings could help here smoothen out the gameplay a bit on the Claw. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the Claw is leading once more with 52 over 40 FPS, which is an improvement of 30% over the Ally Z1 Extreme, using the medium preset at 1080p. The benchmark seemed to be mostly stable without too much stuttering and should be playable on both devices, though definitely a better experience on the Claw here. PS, from what I can tell, the Claw's variable refresh rate does start to work from around 45 FPS upwards, so you'd really want to hit at least 45 FPS for a much smoother experience on that handheld. In Forza Horizon 5 and the 30W profile, the Claw was only slightly ahead at 1080p using the high preset with 60 over 56 FPS on average, while both handhelds provided a smooth experience with decent 1% lows running the integrated benchmark. More than 60 FPS are definitely doable with the medium preset and when actually playing the game. The FPS should even be a bit higher depending on the area of the open world. And now let's also have a look at the results when using the 15 or respectively 17W profile of these handhelds, which most people will probably use on the go, especially for the ROG Ally with its significantly smaller battery. In Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the Claw now almost destroys the ROG Ally, and the Core Ultra 7 258V with its ARC 140V graphics seems to be much more efficient. 43 over 26 FPS on average using the same settings as before, and that's actually a difference of 65%. So not only will the Claw give around twice as much battery runtime here, it also performs significantly better, whereas on the Ally the game is almost unplayable, at least with the medium preset and FSR on performance. In Monster Hunter Wilds, using the 17W profile, the Ally is still performing better than the MSI Claw 8 AI+, which is really struggling with the 1% lows here, and the game might be unplayable like that in its current state. Though, with its 35 over 33 FPS, the lead is marginal for the Ally, and once more, in some scenarios the Claw does actually have the higher frame rate, but with these 1% lows, it's probably not a lot of fun to play. Though, something unexpected is happening for Wukong Black Myth, as the Ally is taking a strong lead here with 55 or 41 FPS over the Claw, which is a big difference of 34%, and I have no clue why that happened while I double and triple check the results. Again, to repeat myself, probably drivers, the BIOS or the game, or well, just the Claw itself. Though, I'm once more impressed that the Ally is holding up so well with its relatively small 16GB of RAM. But in all fairness, I don't own the game and I can't tell you how they will behave actually playing the game and if the Ally is running into issues in that case. Again, like with the 30W preset in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, the Claw is now having a small lead with 26 over 21 FPS on average, though in both cases the game is more or less unplayable with these bad frame times and the overall low FPS. And since we're already on the lowest settings, the only thing you could do is further lower the resolution, which would, lead to a super blurry game, I guess. In Cyberpunk 2077, using the 17W profile, the Claw is able to increase its lead with 65 over 45 FPS on average, translating to a difference of a whopping 44%, using the medium preset with frame generation activated and FSR 3 unbalanced. It is still playable on the Ally, though it's a much better experience on the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus here. It's quite impressive how efficient these Lunar Lake chips can actually be. But as you can see, also the MSI Claw is struggling with the 1% lows in that case. And again, in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the Claw is quite a bit faster with 41 over 29 FPS on average using the 17W or 15W profiles here at 1080p with medium settings. Though, if you take a look at the 1% lows and the frame time graph, you can see the game actually becomes very stuttery on the Claw, and that might be considered unplayable by quite a few gamers out there, so the average FPS only tell half the truth here. And last but not least, in Forza Horizon 5, using the lower power profile, so the Claw is once more able to increase its lead to a difference of 30% with 52 over 40 FPS, while both handhelds still provided stable frame times and are playable alright even when using the high preset. So kinda mixed results here overall, though finally MSI managed to beat the Ally in most cases, which should be expected with a much newer chip and so much time after the ROG Ally Z1 Extreme's release. It is noteworthy that Intel manages to get such good results even on the lower wattages, which is where these handhelds really begin to make more sense to many people with so much better battery runtimes. Now, this is not a review or a recommendation, as there are many other factors like the price, the features, etc. that have to be taken into account, of course. And that's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe for my upcoming 30 or 40 games on the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus video, which I'll probably do next. And I'm planning to do some more extended battery testing video as well as other stuff with that handheld. Until then, thanks for watching, see you next time, bye bye and tschüss.